Welcome back everybody, Aswanation Auto here. This is a 2014 Toyota Axio. So if you're on the market looking out for a compact saloon car, some small saloon car that is quite efficient in terms of fuel consumption, as well as easy to manage, to repair and to live with, then this is one of it. We'll begin our review from in here. So if you look at this car here, there's nothing really, there's not a lot going on. So you just have your steering wheel, your airbag and the passenger airbag, only two offered for this car. Minimal design, very simple. The dashboard a bit dusty but very plastic, basic. This is one of the basic models of the Toyota Axio, which is also Toyota Fielder, which is the same car. So you have air conditioning as standard. You also do not have a good stereo, but an in-house Toyota stereo that's absolutely useless for people who live outside Japan. You have glove compartment with your Toyota owner's manual. Mind you, the Toyota Axio is the Toyota Corolla Axio. Typically the Toyota Corolla E160 to the other markets was sold as the E170 or 180, but it's the Toyota Corolla E160. So you have some nicely finished metallic finish on the knobs here, air conditioning, not dual zone, just one zone, vents here and there, and your windscreen defrost. You have your cluster here that only has your speedo, and then the digital section here for some information, including your fuel gauge that is digital over there, and then your odometer, as well as your gear position and your warning lights. Mind you, this little car has traction control. If you can see the traction control on this, and ABS as well. Come to the door here. Also, the door card is plastic all the way, with the windows. Something a bit high-tech on this car. On the options is you have all the four windows as automatic. They can all come up by just a touch of the button, or go down by just a press on the button. You have also electric door mirrors, as well as the adjustment for headlights. You also have this place here. Those who don't know what this is used for, this is a coin holder. So if you have some change, I don't have any, but if you have some change remaining, you can arrange your coins in here, and then you hide them away. So you also have manual seats. That's how you wind them down in terms of moving the base down. And then this is for the backrest, up and back and forth. And then you also have this lever here for moving them back and forth, and then you have this for winding the base down, and then for the backrest. In here, if we can look here, you have automatic gearbox. Only options for this car are 5-speed manual or this CVT gearbox. There is no proper automatic gearbox for this car. So you have two cup holders as well in here, and some storage over there. Nothing much here. Your button to switch on and off the traction control, and then some storage also there. Yeah, we also have some 12-volt socket here for power output, and a mechanical handbrake. Yeah, the seats are not that bad. They are well designed. At least they hold you nicely. You don't move about. We can check out the space. Before then, we can look at this. Having this as a base unit, we have just your sun visors without any vanity mirrors. But of course, you can't miss the interior lights, reading lights. Let's check out the back. Here, you also have some very good space, seating for 3. Although it's always very roomy for 2 at the back here. So you have very nice headroom, very nice legroom as well. This seat is further back to my driving position, but then you have very good knee room, legroom in here. Although you also have this hump here, the transmission tunnel, even though this car is front wheel drive. Some other versions of it are all-wheel drive, so you'll have the transmission tunnel with a prop shaft going to the back. which also eats into the space for the person sitting in the middle here. Something to note is that in here you can see you have isofix points over here, and also on this other end, so you can fit child seats on this car, and the doors open wide enough for you to maneuver your child seat and just bring it in. So we have a basic stereo in here with just 4 speakers, one on each door for your music. But if you get this car, the best option is always to just undo it and have your own aftermarket stereo. Let's quickly check out the boot and find out what space we have. For this being a compact saloon car, which is normally B platform for Toyota, a bit longer than the conventional Corolla hatchbacks, so you find we have quite enough boot space, around 500 liters of boot space in here. We also have this cover here that conceals your jack, some tire repair kit, and for some other models you'll find the space there houses the spare wheel. For hybrid versions, the battery pack is under this floor, so you will find it under there, so the space is quite enough for your daily luggage, for if you're doing online taxi, that is for your passengers, your customers, and if you're doing it as your personal car, it will be also enough for your luggage. So under the bonnet of the Toyota Axio, we have several options. We starting with the 1.3 liter Toyota 1NZ FE. FE for Toyota just means petrol engine, and then for diesel you'll find some D somewhere, 1HD, 1KD and such. So FE is 1NZ petrol engine. So this 1NZ is a 1300cc that produces 99 brake horsepower at about 6000 RPM, and a maximum 170 Newton meters at about also 5000 RPM. So we have this 1.3 option. We also have a 1.5 option that has 109 brake horsepower. We also have 1.8 liter that has about 138 to 140 brake horsepower for this. So as we had mentioned, this car doesn't have any automatic transmission, any proper automatic transmission, but only comes with 5-speed manual, which majorly remained in Japan. Other markets were just offered with CVT transmission with 6 or 7 speed simulation. So that is the options that you have on this car. We can take it for a quick spin, have to feel what the Axio has. We'll start it. So this is quite a simple little car that you can buy as your first car, or as an office car, or as somebody who is just starting out your personal motoring adventure. So this car drives well. The suspension is not it's not anything to term in terms of any performance. We just have it as simple as normal passenger car, comfortable, set up for riding in between city streets, so you can use it as a town car, a daily car for your businesses in town, house to office, or as we said, taxi, those who are doing Uber businesses or other online taxi platforms. So the Axio drives really smoothly. That little 1.3 engine is not anything powerful to go by in terms of performance figures, as we had mentioned, but it has some good punch to move you from point A to point B on your everyday adventures, with the CVT that is also fitted with an eco mode that helps you it acts like some braking agent. When you lift off the throttle, you would feel the car becoming sluggish or slowing down. But then the CVT, for the smoothness, the CVT is good for your any other thing you would need, other than it doesn't have that feel of a driver's car in terms of you shifting gears or you feeling the gears being shifted, but then it's just that linear supply of power. So when you want to punch it harder, you will now start feeling that this engine is sluggish. It doesn't have any power compared to what you get in the same class with the rivals. Let's say something like a VW Jetta that would have a 1.4 turbo petrol or a 1.2 turbo petrol engine, or a Volvo S40. Yeah, but for that matter, for it being that not very powerful, helps it to last a bit longer compared to the competition that has forced induction. So things to look out when you're looking for a Toyota Axio, which is entirely the same car with the Toyota Fielder, which is just an estate version of the Axio. So check out on, if you're looking for a used one, so check out for any body damage in terms of any accident evidence, and if so, how good it was repaired. Also check for any interference on the electrical system, that everything is working, lights, because there is not many modules in this car. So for instance, you only find the engine control module, the transmission control module for the CVT, and then the ABS control module, and the airbag, and that's it. Not as many as you find in the other cars. So you can also just do regular oil changes with synthetic oil, as well as do routine maintenance, things like air filter, oil filter, and gearbox service. The CVT is also serviced at about if you want to have it safe, between 20 and 50,000 kilometers, change your CVT oil, change your CVT filter, and then make sure, as we talked earlier in the other episode about CVT, do not overload the car. Do not stress it in terms of pushing it harder. Do not do the crazy speeds with these little cars with the CVT. Also, do not let it roll back and then you change motion, reverse, forward. Suddenly you have to come to a complete stop before you change direction or change gears with a CVT. Remember, CVT is not really used for racing. CVT is not really used for heavy haulage. So do not overload the car. Do not race. Do not roll back and engage gears. Do your services, and the CVT will serve you well. So generally, if you're looking out for a small compact sedan to start your business in, to use as a family car for a few of your activities, or as well as to use it for online business, like online taxi, or your deliveries, or just your daily use. So a Toyota Axio is one of the most efficient and one of the most reliable cars in that segment and on the market. Thank you so much for watching till this far. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, watch more of our videos, like them, and let's catch up in the next video. Thank you. Cheers.